But today's message I want to share with you, I tried to do a relationship sermon. I really did. I really did try several times, and I just kept hitting a roadblock. So finally Thursday, I think it was, I was like, okay, maybe even Friday, I was like, okay, this is not working. And so God led me down a path that I want to give you today, because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. If you guys, I'm just telling you, I'm giving you a 24-hour warning, okay? You go get you some stuff. The real couples in the house will go back here and take a photo with their lovey before they leave. The real couples. If you love your spouse, go get you a photo. We got EXO. It's a really cool backdrop. It's in the back of the breezeway. Yes, it'll be cold for a couple minutes. It's worth it, all right? Your love is worth it. Let's just see how much you really love your spouse. Will you go take a picture and sit on a cold seat? I don't know. We'll see. But tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I really want to do a message on relationships, and that's coming very soon. I'm hoping next week I can preach it. But today, God wanted me to talk to you about something that we don't talk about, I think, enough in the church, and that is the spiritual aspect, the spiritual warfare that's going on around us. And I'm telling you, it's raging, and it's getting tougher every day. I mean, the warfare is crazy. I want us to understand why this series is called Wired, and I want to tell you today why you're wired, all right? The core of it. So you're wired for relationships with each other, but first you're wired for a relationship with God, all right? And so I think that's why God wouldn't let me teach on relationships, because that's really secondary to your relationship with Him. That needs to be your firm foundation, and then you build a relationship on top of that with somebody else. In fact, we've done studies, and one of the things that we learned in those studies was that you seek the number one, who's God, with your number two, all right? So God's here, you're here, and as you seek Him, you're getting closer together and closer to Him. And so that's first and foremost, is your relationship with God. And so to understand that, I wanted you to show you what you're made of, like on the inside. So today is Valentine's Day, so we got to show a red heart, and we've shown this image before, but I have to go back to it, because if you don't get this, you will walk through your Christian life and be confused, all right? So your heart is your soul and your spirit together. This represents your soul. This represents your spirit. And so your spirit and your soul together. So when you see heart in the Bible, almost every time it's really talking about your soul and your spirit together. So your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions, and your spirit. In fact, I would say this today, you are a spirit, right? It's not even that you have a spirit. You are a spirit. That's what you are. You are a spirit. And we don't fully understand that, but we are a spirit that has a soul. So you have a mind, will, and emotion that lives in a body, all right? So you're not a soul that lives in a body. You are a spirit that lives in a body, all right? So if we get that down, then I think the rest of this will hopefully make sense to you this morning. So you are a spirit that has a soul that lives in the body. And so God wired you a certain way. He created you a certain way. And I want to tell you this morning, He created you for a relationship with Him. In fact, I got 5 points this morning. I had 4 as of last night. I got added one this morning. But here's the first thing I want to tell you. We were created to connect with God. You were created that way. You were created for a fellowship with Him. There's no way around that. I mean, that's the way God created you. He created you to connect with God. Now, we have kind of put that in the back burner. I was watching it was a sitcom the other day, and they were talking about purpose. And are we really wasting time on this world? And I'm gonna tell you, if you don't know Jesus, you're not living for Jesus. You're wasting your life away. You were created to connect with Him, and that's why you were created. That's the only reason. So your spirit's created to connect with Him. In fact, the Bible tells us about our spirit. The Bible says in Proverbs 20:27, the human spirit is the lamp of the Lord. It sheds light on the innermost being. So your spirit is God's lamp. In other words, if He wants to know anything about you, He connects with your spirit, and that's how He knows. It's a connection thing. In fact, you'll actually be able to sleep. Have you ever gone to sleep with a problem and woke up with a solution? Anybody? I've done that. In fact, sometimes I'll pray and say, Lord, I got an issue here. Give me the solution. And so sometimes God will give me the answer while I'm sleeping. What happened? My soul went to sleep. My mind was still working a little bit maybe through dreams, but my spirit was able to connect with Him, and so He downloaded the solution. So He's connecting with our spirit. So the human spirit is the lamp of the Lord. So He uses this. Some versions say it actually connects to the inner parts of the belly, so it actually looks down deep inside of you. There's a lot going on in this belly. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of connecting going on. But here's what I want you to see this morning. And this is where we drift a little bit, I think, and if we understand it, I think it'll help us a little bit. Your spirit is designed to interact with the spiritual realm. It was designed to interact with the spiritual realm, all right? And so we got to get that. Now, what happens? The world wants to thwart that. The world wants to put a little side trick on it. We got psychics going on. Oh, well, they're just crazy. Well, I think some of them are really connecting to the spiritual realm. It's just not any spirit you want to be connected to. Come on. I used to work on computers, and I would travel, and I would go to people's houses from here to Lafayette, Broussard, Beaumont, down to the coast, up to DeRidder or Kinder or Alexandria. And so I was all over the place. Look, I was driving a 1986 Mazda 626. I had faith. I didn't even know it. How my mom let me take off in that car, because and look, it was back in the day. I still saved it. Amy wanted to throw it away, but I wouldn't let her. I had a laminated map. There was cell phones just came out. Like, there was no GPS, there was no Google, nothing like that. So I get to this lady's house, and she's a psychic. And I almost walked up and said, "My name is," but I didn't. It was weird, man. Been in some weird houses, dude. The house might look great, but there's something going on the inside. You know what I'm talking about. So people are connecting the spiritual realm, but it's not always the right spirits, all right? And so here's what I want you to see. When you connect to God, some amazing things happen. And the devil doesn't want this. Here's what I want you to see, and this is what I think most of the church don't understand, and I was a little confused on it for a little while, but here's the second thing I want you to see. When we connect, our spirit is perfected when it's connected to God. Your spirit becomes perfect when you're connected with God. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Remember, I didn't say your soul, your mind with emotions is not perfect. Well, what does that mean? It means you're still going to have wrong thoughts. You're still going to have wrong will. You're not going to do the right thing all the time. But here's what I want you to see. Your spirit becomes perfect. And it's really going to clear some stuff up for you, I hope. And so I know this is an amazing Valentine's message. I know, I get it. But I'm talking about the heart, okay? We're talking about the heart. But here's what the Bible tells us about our spirit. Watch this. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. So when you said yes to Jesus, we had some baptisms a couple of weeks ago, which was awesome. When those young people said yes to Jesus, their spirit at that moment became perfect. Does it mean you're never going to sin again? No. But it means your spirit is now perfect. It's been perfected. So I want you to get that. Don't miss that this morning. Here's the amplified version of the same verse. It says, for our sake he made Christ virtually to be sin who knew no sin, so that in and through him we might become endued with, viewed as being in, and examples of what? The righteousness of God. Viewed as being the righteousness of God. And so he said the reason that he came was so that your spirit could be made perfect. He says what we ought to be approved and acceptable and in the right relationship with him by his goodness. Do not miss that. It's by his goodness. So here's what I want you to see this morning. When you say yes to Jesus, his spirit connects to your spirit, and it makes your spirit perfect. Why? Because God can't touch you if you're not holy. In fact, the first thing he does to a lost person, we have prayer cards up here on both of these speakers, and I want you to get one, fill it out if you have a prayer request. But the first thing that we put on the list that you pray for is for God to sanctify lost people. He's got to make them perfect before he can touch them. So for God to move into your life, your spirit has to be perfect. There's no other way he could do it. If you have Jesus living in you, your spirit is perfect. Does it mean you're never going to get angry? No. We had a ball game last night, and I'm sitting in the stands just going, this is crazy. These fools up in here. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, the rest to the coaches, the kids to the other kids, the kids to the coaches, I'm just like, and I was getting frustrated. Now, did I have a perfect response on the way home talking to Amy? No. You might say I went off, okay? It doesn't mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't mean that and by the way, the people you sit around in the stands will affect the way you think when you get home. And that's in your life. The people you hang out at work, they affect what you talk about when you get home. And so it doesn't mean, look, my spirit's still perfect. Doesn't mean you get to go out and do whatever you want. No. But I want you to see this morning is when you say yes to Jesus, your spirit, because the only way to get to heaven is perfection. It's the only way you're going to get there. Don't hear what I'm not saying. When your spirit connects to him, your spirit becomes perfect. Your soul still has issues, and that's what we call them being sanctified. We're working on it, all right? You should be a better you today than you were a year ago. You in 2022 should be way better than you in 2021. And everybody's better than we were in 2020. Jeez and Pete, dude, that was a year. Buddy told me it's like a year-long prostate exam. I got a video to prove it. Hilarious. That's what it felt like. So if you didn't get better in 2020, there ain't no way you're not better than you were in 2020. 2020 was something else. Is that recent, Andy? So here's what the Bible tells us. And but here's what I want you to see. You can't just go through life and go, okay, well, my spirit's perfect, I'm done. No, you got work to do. And if you don't believe me, ask your spouse. So here's what the Bible tells us. First Thessalonians, here's what it says. Now may the God of peace make you holy in every way. Not just your spirit. Here's the deal. Life is your perfections in your spirit. It should be permeating outward. All right? So your spirit should be making your soul just rethink some things before you say it. All right? So some of y'all you need to get a clamp on that tongue, you know? You just chill. You need to pause. It's the Impact weekend. The phrase was pause, and so that we have hoodies that say pause on them. And so I was talking to Jeremy, and the beginning of that's just crazy. We had 70-something kids showing up, and so he texted me. He says, "Pause, pause, pause." he was struggling. He had some issues popping up. He was trying to fix, but sometimes you just need to pause. So your spirit is made perfect, but your soul still needs some work. So he says, holy in every way. So watch this. He said, may him do it. He said, may he do it. He didn't say he did it. Come on. He didn't say he did it. He said, may he do it. And may your whole spirit, soul and body. So here we see it again. We have spirit, soul, and body. We are a spirit that has a soul, lives in the body. Be kept blameless until the Lord Jesus Christ comes again. So if we go back to our image, I want to show you real quick again. If we go back to our image, we'll see that he wants everything to be made perfect. And holy, made the God of peace make you holy in every way. So he's working on it. You should be working on it. You should be better than you were the other day. I'm trying to be a better me. I'm trying to be a better parent, a better pastor, and a better father, and a better husband. And I can't get much better at being a pawpaw than I am right now. I'm pretty good pawpaw. Papaw, Poppy. What do they call me? Papa. I don't know. She ain't call me anything yet, but she going to. I'm pretty good at that. I got that down, all right? But I'm working on everything else, all right? It's crazy. You're a way better grandfather out the gate than you were a father, for sure. Because you don't have to say no to anything. So he says, may God do it. So you should be working on it. So here's, let's go back to our image real quick. So your spirit has been made perfect. Your mind, your will, and your emotions should be following suit. So you should be thinking about some things. Doesn't mean you're never going to think the wrong thought. Have you ever been in prayer and some crazy image popped in your head or some crazy rival that you have going on from 15, 20 years ago or last night? So your mind's always needs to be changed and worked on. Your will, are you doing the right things all the time? No, I'm going to tell you right now you're not. Because your soul is not perfect, your spirit is, and there ain't no way your emotions are perfect. In fact, you cannot trust your emotions. Oh man, I'm an emotional person, and it seems like it's getting worse as I'm getting older. I don't really know if that's a thing or not, but I feel like it is. So my emotions get the best of me. Man, I used to never be an angry person, and all of a sudden, road rage is just kind of like taking over. And so Amy, I told you the story the other day. She was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. When your wife says in the car, I don't want to die, you got issues. And she was desperate too. There, this guy. Huh? What was I saying? I'm important. And that's all sin is. Sin is all about you. So I made that about me and here's the other thing. Let me tell you this real quick. This is good right here. Here's a great analogy. If I'd have had the whole family in the car, I'd have put them all in danger because of my sin. I'm going to tell you, when you get sin in your life, you're going to put everybody in your world in danger. It is a very slippery slope. That leads me to the next point I wanted to show you this morning, and that is this. The third point is this. The devil wants to corrupt our connection to God. So God, we were created to connect to him. When we're connected to him, our spirit becomes perfect. And because of that, the devil wants to corrupt it. He wants to corrupt your connection. He does not want to see that connection really take hold and connect up. Because when you do, listen, when you verify and you walk in the connection with God and you're reading the word and praying every day and even getting into some fasting and really communicating with God, the devil is in trouble. I'm going to tell you right now, when we pray, he is being defeated. And when your spirit is dominating your life, you will pray more. You will worship more. And so the devil wants to corrupt that connection. We can't miss that this morning. And so what he does is he tries to slip in all kind of different ways. The devil tries to slip into our world. And I'm going to tell you right now, he is a slippery little snake. He's slippery. He's real slippery. In fact, the Bible tells us that he masquerades He actually disguises himself. Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So he's disguising himself as an angel of light. He's trying to be something that he's not. He's pretending to be something that he's not, and he's doing it on purpose. He's doing it with a purpose. And I'm going to tell you right now, in our world that we live in today, the demonic warfare that's going on around us that we're not even aware of is actually mind-blowing. It's in our TV. It's in the movies that we watch. It's in the toys that we buy our kids. It's in video games. It's everywhere. And I'm going to prove it to you this morning. I'm going to show you the top-selling toy. In fact, this toy was the number one selling toy in Target as of not long ago, and maybe still be today. Don't dish on Target; it ain't their fault. But if you want to, I don't care. But on Amazon, Target's just a high-class Walmart. That's all it is. Target's just, I feel clean when I go to Target, you know? I feel dirty when I leave Walmart. That's a whole nother story. But I'll tell you, Kmart, I felt filthy when I left Kmart back in the day. I love Walmart. I go there all the time. I'm just saying. Like, I feel like higher class when I go to Target. But the number one selling toy is the one I'm about to show you. And as of this morning, or as of actually last night, I don't know what time, probably midnight, last night, it's the number 16. You know how many probably millions of toys are sold on Amazon? This is number 16 on their list, like as of today, as of right now. Here's what it is. It is a toy cauldron. If you don't know what that is, it's the pot that witches stir. This is number 16 on Amazon, number one in Target. And I hope you don't own this. If you do, you need to go home and smash it up. So you have, I don't even know what that little thing is. It's got horns on it. That should tell you something. You got these little potions and some more potions over here and a spell book. There's spells that these kids read. They mix everything together, they stir it up, and then this thing pops out like it just makes this big racket, and this animal comes out. Number one at Target and number 16 at Amazon. Y'all, the devil is corrupting the next generation. Well, that's not that big a deal. It's just a toy. They're pretending to be a witch. That's not okay. You know, witchcraft is connecting with the devil. We know that, right? That is your spirit connecting with the devil. That's what witchcraft is. By the way, the Bible says rebellion is as witchcraft. So if you're rebellious, you might as well be a witch. Hello. I just got deep real quick. Woo! Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And by the way, this toy, you can buy all these refills and stuff, and when these kids buy it. But here's what I want you to see. This is connecting with another. This is bigger. This is not the problem. There is a bigger problem, and that is there's actually TV shows that are teaching this. There's a TV show called the Outhouse. I don't know if you've seen that pop up on your TV. None of you are shaking your head, so you know what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be a pretty popular show. They're in their second season right now. It is a Disney TV show, and so let me just. This is the definition of the Outhouse. I watched it. I was like, that's a weird name. So I started watching it, and I very quickly realized that it's not good. This is on Disney. It's on your TV. If you have anything Disney at all, it's on there. Here's the definition of the Outhouse. I didn't have to dig for this. This is their definition. That when you read about it, this is what it shows. Self-assured teenager Luz stumbles upon a portal into a magic realm where she befriends a rebellious witch, Ida, and a tiny warrior king. And by the way, that tiny warrior named King is a demon. Like they don't. That's actually that's what they tell you. It's not like you don't have to wonder. Despite not having magical abilities, Luz pursues her dream of becoming a witch by serving as Ida's apprentice. This is a TV show, and by the way, I went and looked to see what the age is for. It's for 7 and up. All right. So I'm just telling you, the devil has not stopped pursuing your kids, and he ain't going to. And if you ain't pouring into them in other ways, we're just throwing them to the wolves. And so there's actually, I started doing a little bit of research on this. So the young girl, I didn't know if the girl was a girl or not, just to be honest with you. I started digging. I was like, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. And so it is a girl. But in that research, I found real quick that the girl's a teenager, and the witch is a teenager, and they kind of sort of like each other. They're both females. They kind of sort of like each other. And all of a sudden, just, I don't know, a few episodes ago, apparently, their relationship became official. 2 females, 2 teenagers. Here's the image of what it showed on the show. 7 and up. Well, who do you think you are talking about? This is not okay. It's not okay. I'm begging you. We got to open our eyes. My dad, listen, when we were younger, we couldn't watch He-Man. And I thought that was just cruel and unusual punishment. My friends are walking around hollering She-Ra. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Talking about battle cats and stuff. But I look back now and I'm like, thank you, Dad, for being weird. We couldn't eat Lucky Charms, y'all. I ain't joking. Am I joking? I'm not joking. No. Well, you wouldn't let us eat Lucky Charms. He wouldn't let us eat Lucky Charms. You know the first thing I did when I moved out and got my own apartment? So, it's rebellious, okay, but it was good too, man, that bowling. 2 big old family packs, and I could barely afford the apartment I was in. I don't know how I bought $10 worth of cereal, and they didn't last through the night. I ate them up so fast. But if you just turn your TV on for your kids and walk away, this is what they're watching. And that's saying it's okay. That's what we're saying by allowing us into our house. So I'm begging you, open your eyes, open your eyes. The devil is after your kids. The Bible even tells us the purpose of the devil, which is he's talking about here. The thief's purpose is to steal, to kill, and destroy. My purpose is to give life, a rich and satisfying life. And let me just tell you about open doors, because that's what a thief comes through a door or a window. He only needs one. He don't need every door unlocked. He don't need every window open. He only needs one. He only needs one. And guess what? He ain't going to stop till he finds it. So I'm going to tell you here in just a second what we need to start doing, making sure our doors and windows are shut and locked. We had a older guy who was teaching our young adults. I say older. He's not that old. He's probably my age now, so he's probably a young buck. But anyway, we would go to his house all the time, and there was a new guy that showed up. And anyway, some of our stuff started missing. I'm just like, it's kind of coincidence, but I always just give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So I didn't think twice about it. But anybody know who Clay Cross is? Okay. So some of y'all my age are like, yeah, the Clay Cross. I had a Clay Cross CD. He took it. I was not okay with that. Clay Cross was my boy. All right. But anyway, some more stuff started, and then stuff from his house started missing. And we realized what he was doing was he would unlock a window when we were over there having what we now could call small group, and he would come back when nobody was home and start taking stuff. He didn't unlock every window. He didn't open every door. He had one window, and he got in and started taking stuff. That's what the devil does. He's just looking for one door. A bad attitude, a broken relationship, toys in your kid's room. I mean, he's just looking for anything, any kind of avenue. And so in fact, the Bible tells us that lost people are actually working for the devil. In fact, he tells us that. Look at this. I know this is crazy, but he says, for you, talking about lost people, you are the children of your father, the devil. What is he saying? Their spirit's connected to that spiritual realm. And until you get saved, your spirit's connected to his spirit. Children of the devil. All right? So I'm telling you right now, become a child of God. All right? This is children of the devil, of your father the devil. You love to do evil things as he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. I'm going to tell you right now, here's my point number 4. The world does not want you to connect to God. The world wants to stop you. The devil wants to stop you, and he's using everybody in the world to do it. He's trying to stop you from getting there. So we gotta pursue. So the book of John tells us a story of just teaching and preaching on the power of God. And he says, I've given them your word, this is Jesus actually speaking. He says, I've given your word, and the world hates them because they do not belong to the world. If the world hates you, you're probably in a pretty good group. If the world thinks you're weird, you're in a pretty good bunch. So he says the world hates them because they don't belong to the world, just as I do not belong to the world. Look at the next verse, verse 15. I'm not asking you to take them out of the world. Watch this. But keep them safe while they're in it. It's interesting to me that the disciples never asked for God to take them out. They never asked for there to be less pressure. They said, God, we're going in. Just give us power and watch over. They knew they were going in. So he said, keep us safe. So they want to ask for protection. Jesus was speaking this over them, and you see them asking for protection, but they never asked to be delivered from it. So he said, keep us safe from the evil one who are coming after us. They do not belong to this world any more than I do. In other words, we need a group of people that don't belong to this world. And I'm going to tell you, the church became counterculture a long time ago. And so we used to just kind of be subculture. And, we were below the world, but now it's actually, there's a war raging against the church and the world, and we got to be on the right side of that. Look at the next verse. I love this. Here's how we get to walking in truth and walking in freedom. He says, make them holy by your truth. Teach them your word, which is truth. You want to walk in a world that's dirty and filthy and be holy? Get into the word. That's what he tells us. Make them holy by your truth. Teach them your word. Your word is truth. The word is the solution. The word is the solution to everything that we're walking in, everything that we're going to go through. To find out if something is right or wrong, get into the word. He'll tell you. Very clearly, he'll tell you. But it's not going to be easy. He said the world hates them because they don't belong to the world. So here's the last point I want to give you. I want to spend just a couple minutes here. It says we must choose to connect to God in this fallen world. There's got to be a point. My point in this is it's not going to happen on accident. You have to make a choice. You got to make a choice. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are options all around you. You got options all around you, and you're going to have to make a choice. Paul is talking to some church people in Corinthians, and they were struggling with the food that was offered to idols and things that were going on, and Paul was trying to clear everything up. And so he's acting like Jesus in this moment because he's having grace and truth, right? He's got some truth for him, but he also has a little grace with it. And so they're just trying to figure out, okay, well, why don't you want us eating this food? Why is it an issue? And so here's what Paul responded to him. He says, am I saying that food offered to idols is something of some significance, or that idols are real gods? In other words, he's saying, if we don't believe that idols are real gods, then the food offered to them shouldn't mean anything. That's really what he was saying. There's no power in the idol. So there's no power in food that's being offered to idols. So there shouldn't be anything wrong with what he was saying. And so he says this. He says, no, not at all. I am saying that these sacrifices are offered to demons, not to God, and I don't want you to participate with demons. You know what you're doing when you watch filth like I just showed you on TV? You're participating with demons. Do you know how hard it is to find a TV show on Netflix that's not rated R? Anybody? It's called 4 Hours of Searching. That's what it's called. It's almost impossible. And the ones that do show up, the acting is so bad you can't hardly watch it. And the devil trying to beat us up. We got a VidAngel, and it'll start a movie and they'll cut it off. I don't know if the Lord's trying to tell us not to watch it or what, but we're trying to cut stuff out. We can't even do it. I'm just telling you right now, when you make things like videos that have filth in it and shows that have filth, I love when people come up to me and, we'll be talking about shows or, I don't know about y'all, but recently I started binge watching stuff. That's not healthy, by the way. Man, it's fun. You just get you a big old bag of family chips, like family size Doritos. When you got to wash your hands 10 times because you're going to get orange all over the furniture, I'm talking about just lay down. But you know how hard it is to find a TV show that you can binge watch that's actually good and kind of sort of wholesome? I mean, I'm not the guy that says you can't see any blood. I'm talking about just filth and junk in it. And so I'll be talking to people like, oh, you got to check this series out. And then they'll go, oh, wait, there might be some stuff in it. Anybody ever do that to you? Just, hold up, let me check that. Let me Google. Hang on just a second. Let me just say, I might have the wrong name of that. Just give me a second. Wait, that wasn't it at all. You know why? Because we've been so seared by it all that we don't even see it anymore. We don't even hear cussing in shows anymore. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, you can't even watch a newscast with anything in the government without somebody dropping well, it's not an F-bomb. They're cussing. Our government's cussing. I've never seen that before. And I'm not talking about this. I mean, it's been going on for years. I'm not talking about just this group of people. I'm talking about it's been going on. What are we saying? What we're saying, we've just dabbled in it too long, and now it's normal. That's what's happened. We've been dabbling for too long, and now it's just become normal. What is he saying? Don't participate with demons. Maybe you're here today, you don't believe they're real. You in trouble. I'll just say that. They real. They for real. Now, should you be scared of them? No. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. You can walk in authority. I'm not telling you to run from the demons. I'm talking about protect your kids is what I'm telling you. Protect your mind. The Bible says guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. How do you guard your heart? You guard your eyes. You guard your ears. If you got issues with food, you guard your nose. You see me with a nose clamp on, you know what's going on in my world at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So he goes on to say this. He says, you cannot drink from the cup of the Lord and from the cup of demons too. Woo! I got some people right there. That got me. So you come to church and everything's amazing, everything's great, and you go home and watch filth. Or get on that website. Or go too far in that conversation, that text that you know you need to stop right now. You can't drink from the cup of the Lord and demons too. Happy Valentine's Day. I told you it's going to be the weirdest one you ever heard. He said you can't eat the Lord's table and the table of demons too. You have got to pick. And there's other scriptures that says you can't have salt water and fresh water coming out of the same well. And you know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's your world right now. Maybe you have a group of people who don't know this thing about you. You drink it with this group, but this group don't know you drink. And at some point, those worlds will collide. They will collide. He says, it's time to get off the seat. Y'all, I used to see a bumper sticker. My brother used to say it all the time, my older brother. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. It's time for us to start leading our family. And I'm talking about ladies too. We beat up the men all the time. I'm talking about ladies too. Men, it's your responsibility, but ladies, support your husband. If it's time to start throwing some toys away, I don't care what you pay for. That cauldron that I showed you, $66. Inflation, I know, got you. It ain't cheap to be a baby witch. It just ain't cheap these days. Lord, forgive me for that. You can buy the refill potions too. They're like $15 or something. Like, just throw some flour in there. It does the same thing. Here's the deal. Is there a demon in that potion? Probably not. Is there a demon within the cauldron? I don't know. I'll tell you what, we're setting our kids up to become witches. Listen, y'all, and this started back in the 60s or 70s. I don't know, Bewitched. Little nose twinkle was cute, wasn't it? Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. You know, the little thing. I can't do the sound effect very well. You know what I'm talking about, though? Like that, y'all, that was a cute TV show. But it opened the door, and now they're full-blown TV shows, and it's all about witches. Oh, but they're good witches. They help people. They're connected to the wrong spirit. Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on with some groups of people who do good things in the name of humanity, and they really ain't doing it for the right reason. But we got to make a choice. Let me give you this passage out of Deuteronomy real quick. So God lays before the Israelites. He's like, look, we got some rules. We got some regulations. I need you to follow these regulations. He says, today I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. So I'm giving you the choice today between life and death, between blessing and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice that you make. Oh, that you would choose life. Oh, that's my heart for you this morning. Oh, that you would choose life. Choose life. Choose life. And I'm not talking about abortion. That's demonic too. What I'm telling you is choose life in your family. If there's death in your family, if there's a toy in your family that's causing, and listen, I can go even deep. We can go back to Cabbage Patch Dolls. You can go research that yourself. I'm talking some serious stuff. Cabbage Patch Dolls had birth certificates with names of demons on them. And so those demons were gods of like blindness and stuff like that. And kids would go blind. One kid felt like he was on fire, and it was the goddess of fire. This is real stuff. Now, you cast the demon out, it's just a doll. And you have the authority to do that. I would challenge you to pray before you step into stuff like that, but you have the authority to do it. You can do it. He says, oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants might live. Are you living right now? Are you really living? He says you can choose. You can make this choice by loving the Lord your God, obeying him, and committing yourself firmly to him. This is the key to your life. You can choose life. Here's how you do it. Love the Lord, obey him, and committing yourself to him. So let me give you 3 things that you need to do real quick. This is for you. This is practical things that you need to do right now. Today, you need to start doing this today. Here they are. I want to close with this thought right here. Cleanse your home. Go through your house. And maybe you're just wondering. I remember we go through and through Kai's toys just randomly and throw stuff away. Some stuff we didn't even know what it was. It just didn't seem right. We just weren't sure. If you're wondering, throw it out. I don't care what you pay for it. One day Kai came in and he was like, this thing came in this package that I got, and I don't really know what it means. I'm not sure. And he went and threw it away himself. It's not worth it, y'all. Cleanse your home. Take some oil and go through every doorway. We're talking about open doors. The devil's trying to get to an open door. Go cleanse your doorways. Go in oil and pray over every single doorway in your house. Cleanse your home. Cleanse your home. I'm telling you, I'm asking you today, just say, Lord, and look, you don't have to do that. Don't even go in your kids' room. Just say, Lord, show me what's going on. There's story. The Winfreys have. I know people have story after story after story of something that was weird going on. I had a boss, and he had this weird statue in his office, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies, y'all. It really did. I just didn't like it. I don't know where it came from. It didn't look right. I didn't love it. I never threw it away or anything, but it wasn't on my desk. But I just knew something wasn't quite right. Guard or cleanse your home. Listen, and watch what you watch. Watch what you watch. Be mindful. I want you to think about, what if here's your filter right here. You ready for this? If you're watching a TV show or a movie and you're wondering if you should watch or not, just ask yourself, if Grandma was right beside me right now, would I be watching this? That's a great filter. If my kids were in the room right now, would I be watching this? If the answer is no, stop. Here's the last thing. Stay on guard. Guard against it. I challenge you to do this on a regular basis, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, every week, whatever you feel like. Board games. Listen, there's video games. I'm just telling you right now, there are things in your house that need to go. You need to go throw them away. I'm begging you to do it. Choose life, choose life, choose life. Maybe you're here today and you say, man, you talked about that connecting to God. I hadn't even done that yet. That's your first step. And I want to pray with you. I want to pray for you. In fact, we have a team that wants to pray for you. We're not going to have a prayer team down front this morning, but I want you to know today that we want to pray with you and for you. Maybe you have an open door and you know what it is. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a wound that happened 20 years ago or 50 years ago or last week, and you know the Lord's showing you right now it's a door that you need to shut. We want to pray with you. We want to pray for you. There's a number you can text. You can text the word prayer to this number. We'll send you a link, and we want to pray with you. We also have prayer tomorrow night right up here in the hub. Don't miss it. It's a powerful, powerful time. We have over 100 cards now, probably 150 cards to pray for. We need your help. I'm telling you right now, the world is a dark place, and we are counterculture from the world. And if you don't stand up for your family, you don't cleanse their home tonight, cleanse your kids' toys tonight, hey, they ain't going to like it. That's all right. You're the parent. There's a good chance you bought whatever you're about to throw away. Throw it away. It's not worth it. If you're wondering, throw it away. Don't even throw it away. Smash it up so nobody else gets it. Cleanse your home. I'm telling you right now, I don't know who this is for. This is for somebody today. The Lord wouldn't let me share the message I wanted to share, but this is what he wanted me to share, so here it is. Your spirit's been made perfect. Now it's time to cleanse your home and make it perfect. It'll change. I've seen things get cleared out and people's whole world change. Their attitude changed. Their outlook on life changed. Don't stay where you are another day. Make a move. Make a move.